The tea is exceptionally good today. Who made this? Very delicious. Hold on.
Hey, my cosmic cousins, it's your girl Nova Charm, and welcome to another episode of Astrology Tea with Nova Charm. And on today's episode, we have a cosmic cousin request, okay? That's right. A cosmic cousin reached out and said she wanted to get the tea on Meg Thee Stallion and her baby, Klay Thompson. And so, yes, we're going to go ahead and get the tea on that. And I'm talking about reviewing natal placements. We're going to get the synastry of their relationship. We also going to do a peek into the 2026 forecast of their career, any court cases that Meg may have coming up, as well as any new albums that Meg may have coming up for 2026. So, yeah, it's going to be a good one. So y'all go ahead and get y'all's cups out and get ready to let me pour you up this tea. But before you get too comfy cozy, make sure you go ahead and hit that like, go ahead and subscribe to your girl, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of this cosmic tea that I want to sip with you. Now let's get into it, okay? Now, if I'm just being all the way honest, when I looked at both their charts, the first thing that I asked myself, well, is Meg dating herself? Because that's what it gives. I mean, they have a lot of similar placements as well as a lot of harmonizing energy. Their energy, it definitely gives fixed sign power couple, okay? And trust me, 2026 is not just a year. It's a full-on astrological ambush, honey. And we're going to get into the tea of it all, okay? So let's start with the placements. Now, starting with our boy Klay, he is an Aquarius Sun, as well as he has his North Node in Aquarius. I like that. Now, he also has a Leo moon. Now we get to a place on his chart that actually made me choke on my tea a little bit. Because our boy Klay is a Capricorn Mercury, Venus, Mars, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. Okay? I mean, that man is walking Father Time here. He is walking Saturn with all of those Capricorn and Aquarius placements. Because if you remember correctly, before Aquarius packed up his bags and moved over to Uranus, it used to live in Saturn too. So all of those Saturn placements is just insane. Now, to top it off, he also has his Jupiter in Cancer, and his Pluto sits in Scorpio. Now, for most women, that might be a lot to handle, but for Meg, that's just right, because her energy definitely complements that energy, okay? Now, let's start with the fact that she is also an Aquarius Sun, and her Mercury sits in Aquarius as well. Now, in addition to having matching suns, they also have matching moons. Both of their moons sit in Leo. Now, in addition to Meg's moon being in Leo, her Mars also sits in Leo as well. Now, here's where the Capricorn placements come in for Meg, because she has a few of them as well. Now, her Venus sits in Capricorn. Her Neptune and her Uranus also sit in Capricorn. Now, in addition, she has her Jupiter and her Pluto sitting in Sagittarius. Her Saturn sits in Pisces, and her North Node is in Scorpio. So as you can see, their elemental energy and just their energy overall in general is very harmonious, okay? Now, I really don't do the twin flame type of thing, but if there was one, this would be the vibes. This would be it. Now, they do live on two different planes, okay? Now, let's dig a little bit more into the charts, though, okay? Now, with Meg definitely gives hot girl coach. She has that intellect with that Sun and that Mercury both being in Aquarius. She really stands on her uniqueness. Like, it's not a surprise to me that she's that anime girly, but still that bad bitch at the same time. Like, that doesn't surprise me. She's very confident and authentic in who she is. Aquarius is that rebel energy, and it definitely gives that in how she comes across. Like, Meg's energy really gives women empowerment and just being confident in who you are overall. Like, she really gives that in her messaging when it comes to her music. Now, one thing I do want to point out in her chart, that Mercury in Aquarius for her was in retrograde on her natal chart. So with that type of energy, I'm definitely not surprised that there have been a lot of mix-ups as far as a communication when it comes to Meg, as well as contracts that have been messy in the past. This has definitely had an effect on some of her legal battles, as well as some of those label disputes that she's had in the past, okay? Now, we are going to get into that a little bit more in this video, especially when we're talking about these transits for 2026, because I really don't think Meg is done with that courtroom, honey. But we're going to put a pin in it. You know how I like to do. We're going to stick a pin in it. We'll get back to that, okay? Now, when it comes to her moon and her Mars both being in Leo, child, this is what gives her her ultimate stage presence and that confidence that we see. Now, with her emotions being locked into her drive, in that Leo energy, it definitely gives her that fire. And it's not just fire, it's fixed fire at that. So it's headstrong with it. This energy definitely makes her a showstopper. She's passionate. She knows how to connect her emotions with her stage presence as well. Our girl really makes you feel what she's talking about. Her energy just is so assertive, and it just begs to stand out. It's going to stand out, okay? And when it comes to Klay, he is a man of structure, determination. All that Capricorn energy, he literally got 6 planetary energies in Capricorn, okay? So while Meg is fixed in her air and fire, Klay is practically all cardinal earth, okay? That cluster of Mercury, Venus, Mars, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune all in Capricorn, y'all, this man is not playing. That's serious strategic long-term determination, okay? That is discipline at its finest. This man is so grounded and anchored. And this is definitely that energy that allows Meg to feel like she can fly high with this man. And not to mention that shared vibe in their sun and their moon, both being an Aquarius sun and a Leo moon, that's actually kind of rare. They know the struggle of being independent as far as being that Aquarius energy in their chart, but also desperately needing the spotlight in that Leo energy. They get the pressure of fame. Having matching moons like that, you really understand the other person's emotional needs because it's going to literally mirror your own. Now, when it comes to their Mercury, while Meg has that Aquarian, free-thinking, rebel type of way of thinking or mind, you have Klay with that structured, grounded foundation. And these are planetary partners. Like I said, Aquarius and Capricorn used to live together over in Saturn before Aquarius said it needed its freedom and went over to Uranus, okay? So there's definitely enough there because they share that planetary energy in that area. Now, of course, they're going to be coming from two different perspectives because you got one that's on one side of the planet and the other on the other side of the planet. However, it still is enough there in common to where they will be able to understand their way of thinking and understand each other's communication style. Now, when it comes to their Venuses, they have matching Venuses. Now, I done told y'all about this, child. Now, when it comes to Venus, Venus for women is, it's the way they want to be loved, the type of love they want to attract in their lives, what love looks like. And it also will tell you a little bit about the partnership. Now, when it comes to men, it talks about the type of women that they are attracted to. By them having matching Venuses like that, it automatically puts the love in his eyes for her, okay? He is so attracted to her hard work and her determination. And of course, he recognized what that looked like with all that damn Capricorn placements in his chart. He almost has to have a woman that has that type of determination. This is somebody who doesn't mind putting in the discipline of that slow grind to get to that finish line. Now, one thing about Capricorn and Venus is it likes to take its time, okay? It's not going to just jump up and fall in love. But when it do. Once it falls in love, it's there, okay? That Capricorn energy is solid and solid foundation. It's hard as a rock. It's all about that long-term commitment. But it definitely requires structure. So that takes a lot of work for them to even get to that place. So once they're there, they are there. And they definitely approach relationships and everything strategically, okay? They are definitely checking over if all of the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted, okay? This is a business deal to them. I mean, in a way it is. They look at partnerships as though they are business deals. This is a commitment sign here. If they had paperwork, they would give it. I'm just saying, this is that Capricorn and Venus energy. They're not going to do all this investing in you just for you to turn around tomorrow and just say that this isn't what you want. So like with Capricorns, they do have to take their time to make sure that this is what it really is. And this goes the same way when it comes to their finances, because Venus also deals with money. It deals with love and money, okay? And one thing about it is they definitely admire each other's work ethic. That shared sun, moon, Venus, that definitely ensures that they see things eye to eye and they feel things heart to heart, okay? They don't have to explain their needs for the spotlight or their desires. They are structured, serious, and they don't play about each other, okay? They get it. Now, because of the fact that both of their Venuses and both of their Neptunes both sit in Capricorn, yeah, they are looking at each other like, this is my dream. They are literally living in the fantasy that they created for themselves. Beyonce came up with Dangerously in Love. They should come up with Delusionally in Love. And I ain't mad about it because it's a mutual thing. Meg is looking at this man like this is her dream man. And Klay is looking at Meg like this is my dream woman. Like they are literally looking at each other in that way. It just gives that romance, that intense passion, that true ship. Okay? Meg looks at him like he is the nicest, most put together and structured. She just loves his foundation. She loves how grounded he is. Like she loved that about him. She do. So when she came up with that song, I believe every single beat of that. Okay? That came from the heart. I'm telling you. I told y'all that her emotions and her Mars is connected. So that definitely came from the heart, baby. Now, of course, you know Neptune does come with its fair warnings on the side, okay? Now, because of the fact that it is the planet of illusion, sometimes you get too caught up in just what the fantasy of it all is and not what the reality of it is. Now, because they both sit in Capricorn, there does have to be a certain discipline when it comes to this area. Neptune does have a tendency to kind of ignore them flaws and try to act like it didn't see nothing, okay? Anything they can just to keep that vibe alive, all right? Another thing that they're definitely going to have to look out for in their relationship is that power struggle, okay? That Mars-Pluto square. Now, I've already told y'all, anytime you're thinking about a square, you got to think of like square up, like you're about to fight. Think baddies or now that's TV, okay? This is literally energy conflict that just is not going to get along, okay? Now, this is the friction. Her assertive Mars in Leo is square his powerful point in that Pluto in Scorpio, all right? And that's in his chart. This could definitely bring about an ego clash, okay? So when they get into it, okay? It gets intense. It gets transformative. It gets deep. And they're going to have to really make sure that they maintain their control level when it comes to that. Pluto, which is that planet which deals with your power, it can deal with obsession, possession, and all of that good stuff. By that being home in Scorpio for him, that can be, kind of controlling, if we will. Now that could definitely present a problem for Meg because she is such a free spirit. We would just have to make sure that he stayed balanced with understanding that he cannot control her. Like that would definitely cause an ego clash, and that fight, like I said before, would not be cute at all. It would get nasty. It would get real. It would get real fast. Okay. Now, when it comes to the transits in 2026, they both have some pretty big transformations coming up. Okay. We all have some really big things going on come 2026. If you're here for this video, I encourage you to definitely go check out some of the other videos about some of the planetary energies and where we're currently at and how it's affecting you, because this is such an important time to understand what to do with your energy. Make sure that you are using your energy and not letting your energy use you, baby. You hear me? Now, with that being said, let's first get into Klay, because he's having a pretty amazing year, 2026, okay? Now, Klay, with his little karmic self, we know his whole life, ain't no way in the world he got through his whole life without having that structure, without having all of those long-term goals. Like anytime he didn't do what he was supposed to, the universe definitely made him pay dearly, which created this energy of making sure you handle your business. Okay, so I'm sure Klay can all give us a masterclass when it comes to discipline. Okay, Capricorn discipline to be specific. Okay, and it's going to be paying off for him in 2026, especially when it comes to his career. Now, throughout his NBA career, he has created this unshakable legacy, okay? Even through some of the challenges that he's faced with dealing with his injury, going to a different team, and having to shift complete roles, that Capricorn Stellium definitely helped with that, okay? It gave that karmic proof that his game is definitely foundational, and he puts in that discipline and hard work no matter what the position is that he is in. Now, once Aries hits Saturn and Neptune for Klay, this is going to bring in somewhat of a reality check for him, because everybody's been in our Pisces la la land in Neptune for the last 14 years. Okay, now when this transit come in, Klay's gonna be wanting to step his game up. He's gonna be looking to be an OG. Okay, he no, I'm a vet. I've been doing this for a long time. He's trying to be a mentor. He's not just trying to be a shooter on the court. He's actually trying to solidify his role and plant his flag on his team. Okay, now I don't know a lot about what's going on with his contracts and different things like that, but if he does have a contract, or if there are any type of questions around the commitment in the team that he's currently in, he will get a definite answer early in 2026 when this Saturn in Aries comes around. Okay, it's definitely going to force action in that area. Saturn is definitely requiring that firm structure, so if it's shaky, it definitely got to go. Now, in addition, we are dealing with that Pluto and Aquarius energy, which it recently went direct, which I do have a video about that on my channel. If you have not got an opportunity, yeah, go ahead and check that out. All right. But I digress. Let me get back to it. Okay. So Pluto is going to be walking hand in hand with his Capricorn stellium. Okay. Pluto is, of course, like I said before, that planet of power, control, and transformation. It is in Aquarius at 0 degrees, by the way. So it is forming a glorious supportive trend in his massive Capricorn stellium. And we're talking about, of course, his Mercury, Venus, Mars, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Damn near his whole damn chart, okay? Let's not forget, Aquarius is also in his sun, as well as his north node. So, I mean, geez Louise, that Pluto is all over his chart right now. Like, Pluto just stamped his chart and said, I'll take it from here. And with that, it's taking that Capricorn earth of pure, unstoppable, quiet endurance with it, okay? This means that there's going to be some deep internal work that he's been doing. And that rehabilitation, those role adjustments, finding his footing on his new team, all of that will manifest as unshakable power and resilience on that court, okay? You're going to see another side of him, and they're going to be talking about Klay in different ways, okay? The Astrological Tea is saying that he going to have a time in 2026. And he going to have a little comeback, if you will. All right. It definitely suggests that there is some strategic control in the game, focusing on his efficiency as well as his high leverage plays rather than his high volume. Okay. His veteran experience and his discipline is going to be that transformational weapon that is going to take him over the top and have everybody viewing him in a different way in the sports world, okay? Now, mid-2026, we got Jupiter going into Leo. Now, that's going to be a big one for both of them because they both have Leo in both of their moons, as well as Meg has Leo in her Mars. Now, we already know that Jupiter expands everything that it touches. It blows things up. It exaggerates the hell out of it, okay? This is going to create this passion within his performance that is going to definitely get recognized. People are going to be looking at it, and it's going to be talked about in the, sports world. Bottom line is Klay's going to be really leaning into his Capricorn power. He's going to be creating stability as well as excellence. Like pure excellence is what he's given in 2026. Now, the first part of the year, he's going to be establishing that structure. He's going to be finding that clarity in his new roles. That second half is going to be fueled by that Pluto trine and that Jupiter in Leo. And it's definitely going to give him that public glory. Now, while Klay is getting things stabilized for excellence, Meg is kind of going through chaos, okay? It's going to be a little chaotic for 2026 for Meg. I mean, our hottie, she just can't catch a break when it comes to certain shit, okay? And we're going to go ahead and get into it. Like, she's going to have a very busy 2026, that's for sure. Now, please let me not fail to mention the fact that they also going to have an eclipse that's going to also be hitting both of their charts. You know, it's sitting right on their sun and moon with that Aquarius and Leo energy. Child. Now, this actual transit is going to give Meg's sun, moon, and Mars that total karmic wipeout. It's going to give her a completely new destiny. Now, the first eclipse is set to take place around February 17, 2026. And this is going to hit her right in her sun and Mercury. Now, this is actually a solar eclipse and a super new moon. This is going to be massive, actually. It's a faded new beginning in her identity, her public image, and her community. Now, during this time, Meg's going to be completely embracing her authenticity and liberating herself. And she's not going to be caring what anybody has to say about too much of anything around that time, okay? Now, in addition, we have a total solar eclipse in Leo coming August 12th, 2026. Now, this is going to land directly on her moon and her Mars. Now, because it is a fixed sign that the eclipse is in, this brings a highly dramatic, faded turning point in her self-expression, her performance, as well as her emotional core. Now, of course, the biggest heavy hitters of 2026 is definitely going to be Pluto and Saturn. Okay, they're slapping us all about, and they're not giving a damn. Okay, now this energy, of course, is going to hit her sun and her Mercury, which her Mercury, of course, like I said, was in retrograde at the time she was born. Now, Pluto is going to demand that she kill that old persona, which I feel like she was giving us a little sneak peek when it comes to that Lover Girl single that she dropped. But please do not get it twisted, because just because she is in her Lover Girl era does not mean that she is not stepping into her most powerful, raw version of herself that we have ever seen Meg be in, okay? This energy is giving non-negotiable. She's not taking no shit from nobody. This shift is definitely giving, there's identity rebirth. Okay, she's not going to be, we're not going to be looking at her the same, and she's going to make sure of that. Now, mid 2026, of course, Jupiter steps into Leo, as I stated before, and this is going to affect her moon and her Mars. Now, this Jupiter energy, like I said, it blows everything out of proportion. It's abundant, it's elaborate, it just does its thing, and it just makes everything just swell up and expand, okay? She is definitely going to be maximizing her creativity when it comes to this. Meg will definitely be receiving a lot more public success and a lot more love from the public. Now, typically when it comes to the audience, it's always a little back and forth. Like, you have a lot of people who are like, no, Meg is that girl, and they are bona fide hotties. And then you have another aspect that just does not fool with Meg at all. But I feel like it's going to be a little bit more sided to where a lot more people are going to be giving her a lot more grace than they have in the past. She's definitely dealt with a lot of heavy criticism, and I feel like it's going to be more praise this time. Now, if I had to guess when Meg would be dropping her album, the best time, if I was her, to be dropping this album is actually around mid 2026, like maybe even in August with that eclipse energy. That rebranding and that rebirth energy. It's going to be a great time for her to go ahead and release that album. Now, that Saturn and Neptune conjunction for her will bring in that final reality check. Now, for Meg, her Saturn sits in Pisces. So right now at this very moment, she's going through her Saturn graduation. And I honestly believe with all that Capricorn energy that Klay was her reward for all of her hard work and everything that she has worked for. Okay, I really believe that in my spirit. Now, Pisces is going to be finalizing and clearing out that energy. So she's going to be finalizing and clearing out those lessons right there in that area, okay? Another area that will be receiving a hefty cleanup is also that legal area. Now, this is dealing with the contracts, courtrooms, and the cosmic verdicts, okay? Now, we know this energy is already taking Meg's side. She just recently won a defamation lawsuit case on December 1st. But the stars are saying this ain't it for the courtroom, okay? The drama isn't fully over. We got a couple things that we got to clear up, okay? And here's what the transits are saying. Now, currently there is a lawsuit going on with Emilio Garcia versus Roc Nation and Meg Thee Stallion, okay? This is regarding a quote-unquote hostile work environment. Now, according to the stars, it does look like there will be either a definite settlement or a judgment the first quarter of 2026. And the reason why I'm thinking that is because Neptune, of course, rules film, cameras, glamour, but it also deals with misunderstandings as well, you know. And Saturn deals with the accountability of it all. Now, because both of these transits will be in her third house area, which deals with contracts and communications, we can expect a settlement where that paperwork is sealed tight, okay? Saturn is coming in to clean that right on up, okay? It's time for a new path and a new era. And it damn sure can't have nothing lingering, okay? And this is something lingering, so it has to be finalized. This transit is not dealing with anything about jail. It's more like a pay transit, a pay to make it go away, okay? That's the type of transit that we're looking at. Now, we all know that Meg just won against the blogger Milagro Grams, okay? But there's still talk of appeals and attorney fees. This whole situation has got Meg hotter than fish grease, honestly, okay? And it has created this energy within her that is like, y'all gonna stop fucking playing with me type of energy. It's very intense. And that Pluto power has definitely been marking its territory in Meg's Sun and her Mercury, okay? So it is very likely that there will be new lawsuits. If anyone tries to play with Meg or spin any type of false narrative in 2026, she is definitely taking their ass to court, especially if it's anything regarding that Tory situation. Leave it alone, people. I'm telling y'all now. That Pluto in Mercury is saying that she will sue immediately and ruthlessly, okay? And like I said, this is about a power play. Nothing more, nothing less. She's letting y'all know to quit playing with her name, all right? This is definitely going to transform her voice into a weapon of law. That Mercury energy is the voice. It's the writer. It's the gossiper. And Pluto is straight power. Now, with that being said, it is very likely that a tell-all might be on the way from old Miss Meg, okay? She's tired of everybody telling her story for her. And I think that the lives and the videos aren't going to be enough. So I feel like there is a good possibility that Meg could be in the works of working on a book or possibly a documentary. But this energy is definitely about setting that record straight once and for all and destroying any remaining lies. It is definitely all about that truth. Now, in addition, Meg could also be looking at new management. Okay. Mercury also represents that management contracts. So by Pluto coming in there and, you know, doing her thing. I told you Pluto's a bad bitch. Wherever she goes, she tears shit up. Okay. And Pluto is coming in to renegotiate that contract, baby. Okay. So please do not be surprised if you see something about a renegotiation as far as her management deal is concerned. Pluto is definitely requiring Meg to take more of her power back in that area. So yeah, don't be surprised. Now, when it comes to the two of them together, both Meg and Klay, their relationship will be going through somewhat of a cosmic test in 2026 now. And the universe is definitely going to be doing a commitment check. It needs to know if this is real. Now, Saturn and Neptune in Aries, both hitting those Venus and Capricorn placements, is definitely going to be that reality check for their love life. And I talked about this earlier in the video. This energy is definitely going to be set up to see if they are going to be built for structure, discipline, and that foundational energy that Capricorn is all about. It has to be concrete. It has to have those boundaries and those commitments to one another. Another energy that is also going to be wreaking havoc on their relationship is those solar eclipse energies. And we're talking about the one that's going to hit the most is going to be that August one, that Leo solar eclipse, and that Jupiter transit that will activate that Leo Mars, which could potentially activate, that power struggle with that Mars and Pluto. Now, around that time, we got that Jupiter in Leo energy that's going to amplify that. And by this energy and being both of their moon signs, it could add that emotional twist to it. So we just got to hope that, that transit doesn't knock them out of the box as far as the relationship is concerned. They seem very structured and very solid within their energy, so I don't really see it happening, but it will definitely be a test. Now if they can successfully support one another, they will definitely make it through that Saturn commitment check, and their bond will definitely be solidified, okay? And our girl Meg is definitely clearing out that legal karma so she could continue innovating that empire, baby. 2026 is definitely going to be a bumpy ride for Meg, and these commitment tests are just pushing her into that evolution from being that hot girl to that queen of an empire. And she got her boo Klay there every step of the way, being that solid rock of foundation to help get her through that, okay? It's looking really good for them in 2026. I'm not hating on the energy that they got going on at all. Like I said before, it might be a little rough for Meg, but this is definitely going to push her to where she needs to be. But what are your thoughts? Definitely go ahead and let me know in the comments. And if you made it this far, don't forget to hit that like. Go ahead and subscribe to your girl and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of this cosmic tea that I want to sip with you. And I'm out, Cosmic Cousins.